The next question, one more question that is related to electricity chapter itself. That is a case study based questions. Okay, case study questions. There will be some paragraphs will be given based on here I have given based on resistivity, resistance, and on what factor the resistance depends, everything. So just you read out this the explanation on the paragraph what they have given, and based on that you will get the idea to solve the first question. The first question what I have given based on this is the graph for two metallic wires A and B. Two metallic wires A and another one is B. Okay, given what is the correct relationship between their temperatures? Okay, means you need to tell the relationship between temperature of A, wire A, and you need to tell the temperature of wire B. What is their relation? What is their relation? Means there is no value, nothing. Just you need to tell which one is having more temperature and which one is having less temperature. See the graph what they have given. Here they have given the graph of VI graph. So this graph will be obtained after performing the Ohm's law. Okay, after performing the Ohm's law, with respect to the voltage value, you need to note down correct value. Then you need to divide. Means you need to consider V by I. So when you are doing V by I, you will get one value, constant value. That constant value itself is called as the resistance. Fine. Now VI graph. Okay, VI graph. In VI graph, okay, I write it here. So the information related to VI graph. Okay, VI graph. So in the VI graph, So main thing in VI graph, you should know that when you find the slope of VI graph, okay, when you find slope of VI graph, this is a VI graph. Slope of VI graph means it is a change in y-axis divided by change in x-axis. Change in y-axis means in y-axis what is there here? Voltage means delta V, change in voltage divided by in x-axis what is there? Current means change in current. So delta V divided by delta I, change in voltage divided by change in current means finally you will get what is that? Resistance. Why? Because already we know that V by I means it is what? Resistance. Means what? When you find slope of VA graph, what you will get? Slope of VA graph, you will get resistance. Now, here two graphs they have given, graph A and graph B. Now you observe whether graph A is having more slope or graph B is having more slope. So here I have written A and B. So here A, I consider graph A, I consider graph B. How to identify which one is having more slope? There are a lot of methods you can find by using it. First you observe, so this graph, A graph you observe. The length of y-axis you observe. You consider any points here and consider, with respect to that you consider. So the distance from here to here means change in y-axis, it is more. And change in x-axis, change in y-axis of graph A is less. Change in y-axis of graph B is more compared to change in y-axis of graph A. So that is the reason. Change in y-axis of graph B is more. Means what? Slope of B is more. Slope is more for B. And for A it is less. What is less? Slope of graph A is less. Slope of graph B is more. Slope of graph B is more means then here a resistance R, resistance is more. Why? Because resistance is directly proportional to slope. So R is more here and here R is less. What is R is less means? The resistance of A is less. The resistance of B is more. Next, but they are asking about the temperature. Children, keep your mind. I already told you resistance depends on four factors. Temperature, material, length of the conductor and area of cross section of the conductor. If temperature of the wire increases, then obviously resistance also what happened? Increases. Why? Because the collision between electrons and electrons and positive ions also increases. So that is the reason resistance is more means temperature of B is more. Temperature of B is more. And here the slope of graph A is less. Slope of graph B is more. So like that also you can identify. Otherwise another method, simple method is that method also you can use it. So what you have to do is the graph, what is that? Tan theta. Slope is also represented by tan theta. The slope tan theta means it is opposite side divided by adjacent side. Means opposite side divided by adjacent side. You can see the angle also. See, angle between graph B and what is that? X-axis is more. This angle is more. Alright, right here you will get a clear picture of that. This is graph B and this is graph A. This is PI graph. Here you see graph between or angle between graph B and the x-axis is more. This angle is more. This angle is more means tan theta value is more. Tan theta value is more means slope is more. Slope is more means then you can relate it with that resistance is more. Resistance is more means temperature is more. So this angle you observe children, the angle between graph A and the x-axis, this angle is less. Angle is less means tan theta value is less. Tan theta value is less means slope is less. Slope of graph A is less means then resistance is less, temperature is less. So you should know that how to relate resistance to temperature, temperature to resistance, resistance to length, length to again what is that? Resistance, then area of cross section, everything. So here main resistance depends on temperature, length, area of cross section and material. So that is the reason here relationship if you want to write. Temperature of A is less than the temperature of B. This is the final answer. So you don't need to consider all these things. Just I'm explaining how to identify. So if you are, you need to identify immediately by observing the graph itself. Yes, this angle is more. So B having more resistance, more temperature. Yes, graph A, it is angle between graph E and x-axis is less. If it is less, then resistance is less. Resistance is less means temperature is less. So immediately you need to identify. So temperature of A is less than the temperature of B.